What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tokyo 42. Now, don't let the graphics and presentation of the game fool you. This is awesome. Like, seriously, I recommend it. Links will be in the description for everything about this game. It really reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 2. But it's kind of more focused on your character being on the rooftops and kind of parkour and stuff. There is a little bit of vehicle play as far as I've seen with the multiplayer trailer, and we'll talk about the multiplayer a little bit as we go further into the game. I do have a file right here just because I was kind of testing things out, so we'll just get right into a new game right here. You're having a relaxing evening at your apartment in Tokyo. Now, while we're actually waiting for the loading screen, this is a good opportunity to say that the multiplayer is going to be something very similar to Watch Dogs, where you're going to have two players or more than two players in the environment trying to kind of find out who actually is out of place, who is the other player, or you can just have like straight up death matches and stuff like that. But the graphic style I actually really enjoy, even though it's kind of like microscopic here, right? So let's get right to the story. Brand new, blah, 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 and then breaking news, murder in Tokyo. The first murder in 2042 has been confirmed by police. Thanks to the Tokyo Police Department's tireless detective work, the culprit has been identified. And look, it's us! We stand in front of the TV, and that's such a cool, like, intro already, a nice perspective. We can crouch down, woo! They don't even know who we are. But then also just a little bit further on, that's kind of gonna be the main story element of the game, and we're gonna skip a lot of it, unfortunately, just because otherwise we don't have time. He's kind of this character's gonna kind of string us along and let us know, like, there's a bigger plot at play. There's a big conspiracy going on of who actually ended up framing us, and that's kind of the main story that you're actually trying to do, right? So you can see that little ghost right there. That ended up showing up right there, that showed up for 2 seconds. That's actually going to be directly tied to the view. Oh, there's no fall damage, which I love. Kind of like where the enemies last detected you, because this game also actually has stealth to it as well. Let's actually just skip this right here. Never mind the cutscene. So he's dropping us in, and then right away we're just going to be presented with the game. It's actually an open world game as well. You kind of just end up unlocking more and more of the game as you go further and further along, but it's still really, really cool that it's all immediately, well, not immediately, but it's all accessible, right? So we can actually rotate the map around. Very much, like, really, really cool as soon as I saw that. These are going to end up acting as our checkpoints or save points. And then these little things right here, like you see this little graphical thing on the ground. Wait, what's the button to zoom the camera in? There it is. This thing right here on the ground, that's actually going to end up being a fast travel point. So you're going to want to try and kind of like, the game rewards you for exploring the environment and stuff. And then we can always use our binoculars to kind of just scout around the area and stuff. The game probably plays better with a mouse and keyboard, honestly speaking, but I like playing it with a controller. And then this right here, this is where things get a little bit interesting, because this is going to be where you can end up taking more missions. And then as you end up doing these extra side missions, you can see they're going to end up having different requirements to them. So up and over, for example, the target is a kilometer, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, I was in the middle of looking that up. So this is the bad person that we're trying to get to right now. We have to get them and take care of them. But I wanted to take a look at that. I wanted to look at the side missions. Be quiet. Let me see the side missions. Okay, I can't see the side missions. I guess they're forcing us to do the main thing. So anyway, side missions are going to end up having specific parameters. Like that one that we were looking at was like, use a grenade to kill the target. And I don't know if it's required or if it's just that you're going to end up getting some bonus stuff from it. You can also put a code on. And as you're kind of going around and exploring the world, there's actually going to be tons and tons of secrets and areas that you can end up parkouring to. One of them that's actually a nice example is not those people sitting on the edge right there. Let me see if I can end up showing you all this. There is that right there. Yeah, so this right down here, this little cat icon, as far as I know, that's just a different cat hat that you can end up wearing. but I don't exactly know. And I just love the presentation that this game has, like all the characters all doing yoga and hanging out and stuff like that. You know, it's really funny too. Like there's a lot of stuff that's it's kind of a more mature humor, but it's still kind of funny at the same time, right? So anyways, oh, there's a cat mask right down there at the bottom. Okay, so anyways, they want us to equip our gun right here. As you can see, again, similar to Grand Theft Auto 2 anyways, or the old Grand Theft Auto, we have 1 out of 1 of the pistols, because there's actually going to be different types of pistols, all with their different strengths and weaknesses. But what they're trying to show us is that we can actually do a quick aim like this right here, or we can do kind of a long range aim, and then of course the accuracy of the gun is going to end up changing what's going to actually happen there. Certain areas you don't want to be spotted with the gun, of course, but otherwise, sometimes you just will anyways die. And the thing that I think is actually really cool about this game is that they actually have, like all of the enemies have 1 hit, but so do we. So maybe a little bit later on you would end up getting body armor or something like that, I'm sure. But, you know, it's kind of cool what they ended up actually doing with that. And we're not going to have enough time for it today, I don't think. He wants to teach us to parkour so we can go to the shop right up there to end up buying different guns. But that's the thing that I think is really cool about this game, is it actually offers you multiple like ways to approach an objective. You know, you can either snipe enemies, you can just be a run and guns guy using all crazy explosives and stuff. You can sneak in and just kill all the enemies with a melee weapon and stuff. So it's really, really got a lot of puzzle mechanics to it as well, because as you're trying to sneak through an area, which I ended up doing off camera, I don't know if we're gonna have time to do that today. But I thought it was really, really cool that you can end up, you know, kind of learning the enemy patterns and stuff like that and trying to get through the area very stealthily. And then if the enemies end up actually detecting you, you can, you know, very easily use like the indicators. Like all of these railings and stuff like that are designed in such a way that when we're crouched, we're actually hidden behind it perfectly. And then also those little checkpoints too, like if we end up dying, we just end up respawning at them, kind of losing our progress, right? I want to see, can I actually fall into this guy's window? Nope. Whee! Respawn. There we go. So you just get right back into the action, even though we ended up actually going backwards, which is really, really good. Like, I really like the fact that it's kind of a save point meets a checkpoint, both rolled into one, and makes the game a lot more accessible and a lot quicker, rather than like a game like Grand Theft Auto 2 is very, very unforgiving, because if you end up dying on a mission, I mean, that game's like zillion years old. So now we ended up getting a fast travel point up to here as well, and you can see we can end up getting the sniper rifle, a katana, there's going to end up being the rifle itself, which we can only buy ammo for it. Then there's going to be a heavy laser rifle, a FIMI gun, which I don't even know, just can't keep it down. I don't even know what that is. I guess it's a minigun or something, but we'll buy the sniper right now because that's what the mission wants us to actually do. Get to the vantage point. Okay, I will, and I'll also do a fast travel. See, this is what I mean, where we can't actually, like, look at this. Look at this world. It's gigantic, dude. Really reminds me, like, another thing as far as the style is concerned, it reminds me of Crackdown, which was another kind of open world game like this and had you traveling on a lot of different rooftops and stuff, and, you know, had an area in particular that was kind of this more Tokyo themed, like kind of modernistic, oriental, like future type of, well, what you see before you, right? So anyways, let's grab this. There they ended up giving us some ammo, so this is where the sniper comes into play, because we actually use it to snipe the enemy from 5 miles out, which is another reason, like, that I love it. Like, I love games like this where you actually kind of gotta think, and the thing that's kind of cool about it is the way that you have to snipe these enemies is you have to actually hit them while they're kind of standing still. Because otherwise, if that enemy was walking back and forth, we might have actually missed them. And now they're actually trying to teach us to use the grenades. So the grenades can be a little bit complicated at first, but we'll aim over at this guy and we know he's there. So then we're gonna hold left trigger, and that's choosing our arc. So do we want to throw it way up over the air or just throw it straight in a straight line towards the enemy? Blammo! Get wrecked, son. We probably could have actually thrown it through that basketball hoop, and then I bet you anything we would have got an achievement, but that's okay. Let me actually go down here and grab this cat thing, because I'm really curious to see what it actually is, because I got it before, I just didn't know that we can... Cat skin found. Isn't that what this is? It's showing the cat icon. Okay, I don't really know. Well, anyways, maybe it's in this menu? Cat, black, or red. Where do we actually see that, though? That's the thing that confuses me. Well, anyways, let's just teleport out of here. Woo! And the other thing that they have as well, which is nice, is they're probably actually going to show us this in 2 seconds here, but you actually have the ability to kind of transform your character. I guess we're plugged into the Matrix or something like that, and we can just simply change who we are. So if we end up actually pressing the B button, let me actually zoom the camera in a little bit. You can see where this random character right here, we used our Matrix abilities, and now we're somebody else. So that's gonna be very advantageous if you're trying to sneak around, right? Because you want to like sneak around the environment without having the enemies actually detecting you. And there is going to end up being, where is it? Well, maybe they're not introducing them just yet, but there's these little lightning bolts on the ground that are going to end up actually, oh boy, that's right, I forgot about this. There's little lightning bolts that are going to end up actually giving you... Wow! They're gonna end up giving you more to your energy, because you can see in the bottom left, there's that energy meter. It's actually at 0 right now, so we can't transform to another person anymore. But yeah, this mission was trying to teach us just about fighting straight out, and now this other character's coming into the play because they're like, hey, who are you? Why, you're making quite a name for yourself, right? But in order to actually get to their area, you can see... right up there, need more RP. So we need more rep in order to actually get over to that character and to that main mission area. So they're actually forcing us to do side missions, right? So now we can actually do this up and over one. So right up there, grenade the target, current objective, grenade the target. Okay, we're gonna go and get this guy in 2 seconds flat. Don't you worry about it. Sometimes our character likes to walk around with the gun instead of actually like putting it away. Here's the lightning bolt thingamabob. So we can end up using that to recharge our energy in the bottom left. And then it's going to end up being very helpful for us. These are bad guys, which they're both facing each other. So obviously we're not going to end up being able to sneak through this very well. What I do want to hopefully end up doing is trying to hit this target up here with a grenade. Can we hit him from down here? Yes, we can. Here we go. Let's throw the grenade up there, and blammo! So they're all actually checking out the area, but they don't know that we're the ones who ended up doing it, because we ended up actually doing it without being spotted. However, if we would end up actually touching the characters while they were kind of in that caution status, I guess I should say, then they would have actually like attacked us full on if we ended up getting too close to them, right? But otherwise, there we go. That mission's already done. And I like the fact that this game can end up being played very fast as well, if you know what you're doing, right? So just because, for the sake of time, let's actually rush over to this area, because I'm going to show you a quick example of stealthing. But first, I got grab ourselves a melee weapon, because rip me, I didn't end up getting it. So let's get ourselves the katana right here. We actually have quite a bit of money, not enough to buy any of that other stuff, unfortunately. But let's warp over here, grab the checkpoint, and then we will also grab ourselves the katana out. So as we're going into this area, this is gonna be gang territory any further than this. And then all the enemies in this area are going to end up kind of attacking us. If they detect us. So you can see right there, that was kind of his cone of detection. So what I'm going to try and do here, and probably fail at very ridiculously, is sneak through the area. So I'm going to crouch down on the ground. The enemies actually do have quite a cone of their draw distance. Seems like just generally if you're on their sides, they can see you very easily. Oh boy, okay, well they ended up detecting me, no problem. Whoopsie daisy. Whatever, that's okay. Let's just try and get rid of as many of these guys as possible. Also, can we sneak around? Maybe they're not detecting me right now. What if I transform into a different person? Aha! So you see now, this guy is actually going to end up coming around and detecting, or trying to detect us. I guess his friend ended up detecting me from further away or something like that, which is a little bit disappointing. Whoop! I don't think that grenade is going to end up hitting him. Nope, it didn't. But yeah, I guess that other enemy, like, across the way is kind of detecting me right now, so let me see if I can actually take care of them. Okay, his friend is actually coming up to my face, which is a little bit disappointing. That other guy also almost wrecked my face, because of the fact that he's actually throwing grenades and stuff. Hey, hey, hey! I shot you in the face, dude! I shot that guy! You all saw it! I shot him! That's not fair. Okay, let me use my katana then, and see if we can sneak through this area just before we call it a day for today's video. We got a bunch of dudes in the middle as well, which is going to be a little bit disappointing, but let's see if we can end up doing this. Okay, they just detected me right away, which is a little bit annoying. Whatever. I'm being, like, I'm not being very cautious. I should be being cautious, but I'm not. That's kind of the thing. So this guy's actually got a sword. Pew, 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 pew. We'll take care of him, no problem. Don't worry about it. Whoa! Okay. Well, we'll see if we can end up throwing a nice grenade up over to that guy. Throw another grenade up over to that guy. I don't think that other one is going to end up hitting, but... Blurg! Well, anyways, you get the idea. Anyways, once you end up taking over the area, then you won't have to deal with any of the gangsters and stuff. Most of all, I'm just in a little bit of a rush because of the sake of video time, but you get the idea. And then eventually, once we end up getting through here, we could go into the next area if we ended up having enough rep points, and then we would go into this house right here. Would be another area where we would end up actually fighting and stealthing a little bit easier because there's a bunch of different ways that you can actually approach it as opposed to this one right here where we can only really approach from one side. Now, when I mentioned earlier about vehicles and stuff like that, in the multiplayer trailer, which I'll put links in the description to that stuff as well, they actually showed a character riding on a motorcycle, driving over some stairs, jumping off of the motorcycle and having it land on an enemy. So it's pretty cool that they actually have little details like that, and the game of course ends up getting a lot more complex the further along the game that you end up progressing, right? So really, really cool. Highly recommend it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.